Hi, everybody. I welcome you all to this series. This is again in the continuation of our Automated Exploratory Data Analysis series. This is Kamal. I am co-founder at AccelerateAI. As part of our series of Automated EDA, we aim to cover some key libraries that give value in terms of automation and how we can fasten up our EDA process. So you have already seen some of the previous videos that we have already created for pandas profiling and also for detail. This is again another one in that series. We will be talking about LUX. I'll give you in the comment, there is a link for the other two that you can go and refer there as well. So let's going on the AutoEDA using LUX as part of this series. So if you start looking into it, obviously we are talking about problems to data sets to outcomes. As part of any initial business problem statement, we go through this typical life cycle flow. We have some data sets with different formats coming from different data sources, and then gets integrated and analyzed as part of the very critical, important CRISP DM process, which is where we analyze the data. We perform our model development process evaluation and the final solutions. So as part of this, we do realize the data understanding, data preparation, how important it is. And obviously at the end of it, we get onto the outcomes. But when we look at this, the crucial part of this is again, your data understanding, data preparation process, where you spend a lot of your time in EDA and feature engineering. So approximately 80% of the time is being spent on this. So that's where it's very, very important. If we look at AutoEDA as a solution and in some way to fasten up our entire EDA process, we have been talking about the importance of it in our previous video series. If you look at, as part of this, we will covering LUX. The benefits that most of these gives is threefold. One, it is fast and quick, so it saves your time and effort. And of course, the third point is the analysis related to some of the generalization, some of the statistical inferences are also captured, the visualization, different type of charts, what charts to be used for what type of data sets. It automatically recommends and provides that as part of the solution quickly. Our objective on top of that is we should use this to speed up our process and then use it as a base so that we can perform our actions analysis on top of it that we want to do. If we look at LUX, there are two key aspects of it. If you look at one is about the data frame exploration and visualization, where you would be looking at something like correlation of variables. You'll be looking at something like the distribution of the data sets and then the occurrence of it. And we'll see in a minute about the demo on this. And then the second part is about the next step steerable recommendation that it gives based on the user content or the intent, I would rather say. Intents are again three parts of it. One is enhance, filter, and generalize. If you look at it, we will see that in the demo. We can go to a feature or a multiple features within a data set, and we'll be able to look at what is the current visualization and what are the recommendations based on the intent that it offers, so that user can look at a steerable analysis on that as part of the recommendation process. So let's get on to the demo. Let me get on to the notebook. Here, will be talking about loan prediction data set from Kaggle, which is a standard, which is also what we have used for our other features like pandas profiling and detail. And this will give you a comparative view of how are the features that it offers. If you look at LUX as a package, from a features perspective, the key objective is to facilitate fast and simple data exploration. And it does that with a lot of general overviews that it provides. You can have correlation, distribution, occurrence, geographical features also on a data frame. In this data frame, we may not see the geographical features of it because it may not be relevant in this context. But then your context of the data set, that is also another feature or option that you can leverage. Then it also gives a quick visualization in the Jupyter widget itself that we will see. Then it also have a powerful intent language that we have been talking about, enhance, feature, and generalize approach, which can help us steer our recommendation or how we can play with different variables, the data sets, and how it is, having the patterns. When to use it? Need some quick insights about an unknown data set, you can use it. May not, maybe with smaller set of data sets that it'll work better. You can use this as a basis for your further EDA on top of it. This is not the solution. You can use it as a preliminary analysis, and then on top of it, you can perform your EDA and then actionize what you want to. So let's get going. So you need to have the pandas data frame. Then if you are installing this for the first time or using LUX for the first time, you have to pip install lux-API. You can add that in your requirements.txt file in your environment to be able to use it. And then you can import LUX. And then there's also for visualization that you can do. So this is our trend data set. This is our test data set. That's the shape of those data frames. When we do explore, and then we just say the data frame name, and then automatically these things happen, and then you can toggle between a tabular representation which comes by default, and then you can get onto for the current visualization, and then what are the intents or some of the enhanced filter generalized aspects that it provides. So in this case, if you look at, we have this loan amount and applicant income. Some of these are being shared, displayed. Further breakdown about these two intent by additional attributes. If you look at loan status, if you look at education, married, gender, that kind of a aspect, then self-employed, property area, some of these parameters, loan amount, term, how it correlates to these two in this perspective. Then we can go to filter. It can propose some of the recommendation based on the data values. Then you can generalize based on how this is represented, kind of a histogram. That's about it. You can also go ahead and use something called as intent for a particular feature. If you want to do it for loan amount, so that's my current visualization. And then accordingly against all other additional attributes, how it is augmenting it, we will be able to see, we will be able to get the pattern and see our analysis and perform some actions on top of it. You can also perform the intent with two different features and then call the data frame and then toggle between your tabular view and then kind of a visualization in this form of the view. We can also do visualization with LUX with a particular feature for that particular data frame. And it will give you the visualization in this histogram, different type of bar chart, line chart, and all that stuff. So the interpretation or the summary of what we have seen in LUX, I would let me summarize that. One, it facilitates very quick analysis in a very simple way. You have seen, we have just seen one or two lines of code, and we were able to see some of these powerful analysis. It performs the exploration and visualization both. And that's visible in the Jupyter widgets itself. We can play with it. That's number one. Number two, if you look at the general overview, it gives the correlation, the distribution of the variable data set, features, occurrence of it, and then the geographical features can also be arrived on that. Then there is a powerful intent language for enhanced filter and generalized kind of approach. You can leverage to steer your recommendation for that feature within that data set, right? So that's about it. If you have any specific feedback, please feel free to give that in the comments below in this video. And we will provide the link of all the other libraries as well on the comment section. Thank you so much and appreciate for your time.